Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Elizabeth Spraggins. I am the founder of All Joy Inspired and the owner of Digging from Darkness, Living in Light, a community of what we like to call life travelers, people who have been through the good and the bad and made it to the other side. And our group experts are other business owners and experts in areas of interesting topics that people ask a lot of questions about. And I want to say a quick hi to everybody in my group, Digging from Darkness, Living in Light. Hi, guys. Hi, 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 hi. Before we begin today, I want to give a huge loving, love you guys, shout out. Oh my goodness, this damn thing. Somebody moved my camera. To Beardo and all the fellas and gals over at Beard Vet Coffee. You know, let me try to get that some better light. There we are. See, that's much nicer. At beardvetcoffee.com, a company owned and operated by veterans who donate portions of their proceeds to veteran charities. So beardvet.com, thank you so much for doing what you do for all of our men and women in uniform, past and present. Today is Saturday, June 24th, 2023, and we are going to have some fun today because I'm calling you out on your stuff. I'm going to try to watch my language a little bit more because I've had a bit of a wild streak. Oh no, this damn thing. I've had a bit of a wild streak with my language. I'm trying to curb it back. I'm trying to become a better person as I go. We are all a constantly evolving work of art, right? Right? Okay. Now, where were we? 1 second. I downloaded this awesome song today. It's an awesome song, and I love it. It's fantastic. I do have license to use this, by the way. I totally do. Just going to lower it a little bit. Okay. What are we talking about today? Today we are talking about people who are getting in their own way, people who procrastinate. Procrastination, I believe, is one of the number one poisons to people achieving their goals, people achieving their dreams, or recovering from some pretty tough experiences. So, do you start stuff and don't finish it? Or do you just not get started at all? Are you always finding reasons why something can't be done? Are you always finding reasons why you don't have enough of this or enough of that? And why even bother trying, right? Even after you say you're going to do something. If this is you, today's show is perfect for you. And I got to tell you, I'm in a really good mood. Before we begin, excuse me, my sinuses are all like, fuck you, lady. And I'm like, oh man. Earlier this last week, after 6 weeks of medical testing, I can talk about this now because I know that things turned out okay. I've been undergoing screenings and biopsies and all kinds of blood tests and stuff for cancer. So one of the reasons you're seeing my hair look a little bit, extra fabulous is because I was preparing myself for it to fall out. It was not an easy experience. One of the second round of tests that I had to do while they were looking for what they were worried about came back with some language that led me to believe I was going to have to start going through chemo, radiation, and with very, very non-existent communications from my doctor until I went and chased these effers down. I had to figure all this out for myself, what all of these test results meant. They were sent to me in an email of all things. No phone call, no nothing. So when I went to look at my patient file and they had some language in there, which was really, really scary and reminiscent of a time when I had cancer about 25 years ago. So I was getting ready for my hair to fall out, which it started doing already, but it might have been now looking back, probably from the stress. So it was Tuesday. Today is Saturday. Tuesday, late in the day, I got my results of the third round of testing back that all of the tumors that I have are benign. Good enough. F it. Good enough. Fine. So what that means is they're just going to go in and they're just going to remove the bad boy cells that are not going to creep their way into my blood and travel elsewhere. For those of you who aren't familiar, the tumors are either benign or they're malignant. Malignant was the word that they used in one of my second round of testing. So I immediately freaked out and I said, okay, Evan, if I'm going to lose my hair, I'm just going to have a good time with it until it falls out. So my tumors are benign. So probably have those removed in a couple of weeks, although I'm supposed to see them on Thursday of this coming week. But I'm going to be in Colorado talking to other awesome people like yours truly, who are motivators and contributors to the community. They serve the people in their communities who need them. So we're going to go work on some huge, super secret squirrel project. I don't even know what it is yet. That's how secret it is. But I'll be in Colorado for a couple of days, and I was supposed to see my doctor to have all of that stuff removed. But you know what? It's benign, so it can wait a couple more days. Right. Where were we? Yes, procrastinating. Why are we talking about this today? Why are we talking about procrastinating, getting off your ass and do what needs to be done? If you say you're going to do something, or better yet, if you need to do something, whether that be for promotion, for your financial well-being, your relationship, or your health. I avoided going back to my doctor to get checked for that particular type of cancer because I was afraid to. My last experience was so physically traumatizing. I didn't want to know again. I said, if I have to go through it again, I don't care. I'll just find out on my deathbed. I don't care. Of course, I did care. And when I started to get sick again for a completely different reason, but I started to get sick again, they immediately thought the worst, and they told me to think the worst, along with the last 2 months of my life. However, had I done what I needed to do and not procrastinated going to the doctor, I would have known a long time ago that I had these kind of crappy situation tumors, but not life-ending tumors happening. These, they can cut out, kind of like you pull out a blackhead. I mean, it's a little more complex than that, of course, but you get the idea. The other thing is that's life-changing. No matter how many times you have to go through it, it's life-changing. So today we're going to talk about not procrastinating, because that's the message I got. One of you out there, at least one of you out there, is avoiding something. And I know this because I talk to God a lot. And I know I'm not supposed to get spiritual on these shows because who knows, what platform's got a bug up their butt that day and just going to shut me down. Well, at this point, I don't care. I don't care. I'm across 9 platforms. If 1 or 2 or 3 of you shut me down, I'll find a couple more to, do my show. There is someone out there, and I feel this in my heart, someone else out there who is not doing something they absolutely need to do, whether it be for your health, your financial security, a relationship, whether that be with someone else or with yourself. And hopefully this show today is going to motivate you to take care of that. So, excuse me, I had a little bit of food because I didn't want my blood sugar to drop during the show today. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get started. Prepare yourself, Buttercup. So you're a procrastinator. You like to wait until the last minute to get started on something you really want to do or something you really need to do. We have got some really fun and easy information for you to learn today to help you knock it off. Get off your butt and do what needs to be done. Enjoy. Manifesto. The only time I have ever heard the word manifesto was when it dealt with crazy people doing some really bad things. Think about this. It sounds loud. I don't know why. Music sounds loud. I do like the music, by the way. Naturally, I'm a musician, and I studied music theory, all that stuff. So it's the okay. It's a tempo thing for me. We only usually hear the word manifesto now these days, especially because the world is burning down around us, when it comes to somebody doing some really, really horrible things. And you hear the word manifesto, and what it means is that this person took the time to sit down, grab a notebook, sometimes a diary, or a bunch of paper, and write out the details of their plan. That sounds boring. It's Saturday night. You don't want to talk about doing schoolwork, right? You don't want to do that. Okay, fine. Cool. But do you daydream? I know every one of you does. If you know who I am, before all of this happened, you daydreamed. Even if that daydream was to simply absorb an entertainment that served as a function. It's a form of daydreaming. Well, a manifesto is not exclusive to nefarious people, to people who are doing bad shit in the world. A manifesto is a detailed plan of something you plan, something you would like to do, something you dream of achieving. Memoirs are different. Memoirs is a story of things past, but a manifesto is a detailed plan of something you intend to do. Now, why do we do that? You know what? It's just obvious. If you have a hard time getting things started or taking a step forward into your plan to achieving goals. Now, there are a lot of things that can get in the way of someone's motivation. We've got some medical depression. There are people with serious clinical depression, anxiety disorders, and other personality disorders that might make it more difficult. But I can tell you from personal experience, and as someone who coaches others with these disorders and with these conditions, by teaching behaviors and certain techniques, it is possible to navigate those conditions in conjunction with progress. So if you're navigating or living with clinical depression, anxiety, or what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying not to use foul language as much. I keep getting talking tos. And let me tell you, I love getting a talking to because it's almost like a dare. It is. I'm a commanding woman. I walk into a room. I'm not an a-hole about it, but I command a room. So when somebody gives me a talking to, I love just staring back. He's like, yep. What else you got? Yeah, my ADD game is strong today. It's so strong. Manifesto is a story. It's not a story of the past or present. It's a story of your future. And you are going to write this manifesto as if it is in future tense. And it's not I might, it's not maybe, it is I have or I will. And somebody very, very smart who I really respect, who has been a powerful impact on my success as a life coach, as a business owner, as a store owner, and as a teacher myself, as a student. His name is Todd Campbell, and he teaches it's not self-help because that wouldn't be including the broad spectrum of benefits that his functions have. It is a really powerful healing course and mentor course. It's a live event. He actually has 3 of them. Now 4. they added one, right? And that's the one I'm going to next week. His name is Todd Campbell. And if you want to know the information for those self-improvement or self-help or empowerment, I should have said that first. I apologize, Todd, if you're listening, if you're watching. Empowerment courses. These are courses that help people to see the best in themselves and to discover for themselves what their superpowers are. I hope to one day be as effective and as impactful as Todd Campbell and the people that he works with, because they truly are magnificent. But he taught me a matter of thinking one day, and it was so effective, it shifted my mindset instantly. As soon as I heard him talk about it. I mean, dude is crazy, crazy smart. He knows people. He knows the language of human behavior. And I highly recommend, if you're having a really hard time and therapists and coaches or medication isn't helping, I recommend giving it a try. But if you want that information, let me know. Get a hold of me, my email. I'm supposed to do that graphic. I didn't do it. So you're shit out of luck. It's Elizabeth Spraggins at AllJOYInspired.store. It's Saturday night. I don't blame myself. Saturday night means date night in the Spraggins house. And that means I'm going to go home, get a dress on, maybe put my hair up, look, earrings. I'm in a good mood. So if you're not, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for you. It's a story. And when you write a story or you write out a plan, you automatically do certain things, or as you develop in the story, you wind up needing to do certain things. And one of those is figuring out details along the way, like what tools you're going to need to accomplish what you're trying to do, or your future success. What are you going to need to include in that, right? You're also going to need what knowledge you're going to have to gain. For instance, okay, just as an example, right? Starting a podcast. There are a lot of my classmates who graduated with me who are just now starting their podcast. I have had 13 to 15 years on camera, depending on, what capacity we're describing. I've had over a decade of experience on camera. I have almost 5 years of experience with lighting, with sound, so it's comfortable for me. It's easy for me. But for those who are just starting, who might not have somebody to explain it to them how it works, they're going to have to go researching. They're going to have to look up, what kind of camera they want, what kind of microphone works best, what software program is going to get their signal out the clearest, right? That's an example of tools that you might need to be a superstar podcaster in 10 years. You imagine you have 3 million followers and you're bringing in 20, 30 grand a month in sponsorship deals. Cool, right? Example of tools you might need. Say for those same people, they're going to have to figure out what kind of knowledge they need to learn to get to that point. What do all these damn buttons on the back of this damn thing mean? I still have to look it up sometimes. I figured it out one day by doing a sound check. I just left it there. I said, you leave me alone, because I'm not tech savvy yet. I will be one day. Example of a future discussion we're about to have. Or, where should I put the camera? I need to know where to put the camera so it looks best for the broadcast. Or how do I use this program? I mean, I've been doing this now, and I have a written record of every broadcast I do. All of my show notes go in here, mostly for copyright purposes. In case somebody gets a bug in their ass and decides to say I plagiarized anything, I have handwritten notes. So, okay. But people need to understand that learning programs takes time. Even if you're tech savvy, there are little nooks and crannies of all of these software programs. So that's just one example. Now, let's just say you are trying to get fit, right? You're writing in your manifesto, in your story, that you're going to have a six-pack, or you're going to, for ladies, you want to be a size what? A certain size. You're having a hard time doing it, though. You want to figure out how to get to that point. Well, eventually you're going to have to learn how to lose the weight and how to keep it off. That's an example of the knowledge that, you've got to gain, writing your story, writing your manifesto, and technique, how to do it, right? Moving along. So one way to do this as you're writing your story, and part of, the details that's necessary to include in this story you tell yourself, is to set specific deadlines. Specific. Right? Okay, but if you're writing this story, you're writing this future awesomeness vision of yourself, be specific about it, as you can. Say maybe in a year, 90 days. I am on a serious weight loss journey right now. I am, and I'm really proud of myself, because part of these empowerment programs that Todd Campbell hosts teaches us how to be accountable to what it is that we want to do. Oh man, so I'm having a really good time right now with this fourth program that I'm getting ready to complete in, and I'm not going to undisclose the amount of time, but in 90 days I have a goal to lose 15 pounds. Okay. For what reason? Because I feel like it. Because I spent many years being a bodybuilder and many years being on camera, being super fit. And then when I got scared that my future was permanently going to involve some really difficult experiences, I decided to rest, reserve my strength for whatever I was going to have to deal with. Cool. But set specific deadlines. In 90 days is pretty damn specific. Now, I don't mean you don't have to be a jerk about it and, say 4:15, or 4:33 on Friday, the July 7th or whatever. You don't have to be a D-bag about it, but set specific deadlines and stick to them. Stick to them. Go after it. Like you only have until that last day to make it or break it. And then simply get started. What? It is Saturday night. Oh gosh, darn it. It's going so fast. Okay, moving on. What? No, that can't be right. What are you talking about? I don't know. What? Failure? Yeah, you know what? Actually, this is true. People who are perfectionists are getting in their own way because they tend to focus on the details being exactly right instead of focusing on achieving a goal because their emotions get in the way of them enjoying the growth process, the journey of the delight of learning something new and achieving something. We all know somebody like this. We all know somebody like this. Maybe you yourself are like this. I had to break myself out of this habit. I did. And perfectionism is a poison. It's a poison because people are so focused, perfectionists are so focused on satisfying an emotional need because their emotion is connected to details that are so specific, they lose track of the bigger picture. It's not easy to talk about bad habits, right? It's not easy. And that's okay. That's totally okay. If you don't like talking about your bad habits, I'll do it for you. I have no problem telling you all about yourself. Do it all day long. It's cool, right? It's cool. But perfectionism is it's a poison. Because it can delay your progress. It can delay your journey. It can take the joy of achieving small goals along the way. It can take the joy right out of that. And I'm sure you hear this all the time. I'm sure that you hear some old lady or older gentleman, tell you that life is a journey. And I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, it absolutely is. And you can never get time back that you've lost. And if you spend time attempting to achieve a goal, being hyper specific and hyper tuned into one detail or into two details, you're going to miss opportunities that surround you that might make your achievement easier to get. And of course, joy is far more important than any of that. Love and happiness in your heart can be thwarted, can be squashed, can be injured, or can be removed. So perfectionism, take it easy over there. Take it easy, lighten up. Okay, so what if you're 15 minutes late on your 90-day goal? I think you're going to be all right. I think you're going to be all right. And another thing perfectionism does is it tends to make it more likely that people give up or that they never start trying. If there's something that someone's going to try and they're a perfectionist and they're not feeling in control of the details before they begin, sometimes that can cause people never to get started to begin with. So aim for greatness, not perfection. And by greatness, I mean experience the learning, experience the traveling of the growth. Go through it and appreciate it. Oh my God, appreciate it. Because being able to learn something new that's a party to me. That's a celebration, especially when you spend so long or so many years going through something really bad, even if that darkness is something you put yourself in. Okay, I get it. And I'm gonna give you an example. You were in a relationship that was abusive, and it kind of rattled you a little bit, and the relationship ended, but that left you with some damage, right? It left you with your wires crossed, and you're refusing to get into another relationship. Now, there is a healing period that's involved, and there is some self-help that could be done over several months or a year. But at a certain point, you're just avoiding getting into a relationship again. It's clear that you haven't healed and you don't care. You don't want to be involved with anybody because you're not ready to risk that danger again. But you're lonely, and your friends and family and colleagues are telling you, maybe you're not quite acting right. Okay, so it's time for you to move forward. But because of that thing, you don't even want to try because you don't know how, or you don't have all the details. If you're a control freak, letting go of some of that control, you can feel a lot better. Maybe meet somebody wonderful who's not going to be that horrible person to you. But you've got to take a chance. You've got to take a chance that not everything is in your control and that good things may possibly happen to you. Yes. Perfection is based on emotion. You know what? You can argue with me all you want. Perfectionism is based from emotion. Your self-esteem, your self-worth is determined by getting everything exactly perfect, exactly right. A lot of people that are bullies tend to be perfectionists too. And they focus their anger outward instead of looking at themselves. Greatness is based upon tangibles, things that you can see, things you can touch, things that you can share. Information. Oh my God, we're moving so fast today. I can't believe we've been on the air for half hour already. Whoop. All right, it's time to call yourself out on it. You've been waiting too long, you're coming up with excuses, and you never get started. This is a horrible habit. Well, we are going to show you exactly how to knock it off. Get back to work and get working on your dreams. I was fiddling with some knobs and some settings today. I was having a good time. I was having a really good time today in editing. I was having a blast. So no more excuses. Elizabeth, you are jacked today. Yeah, kind of, totally. I've had this is my third cup of coffee since, I don't know, 5 this morning? 4? Yeah, we get up at 4. I get up at 4 in the morning. No excuses. Procrastinators tend to make excuses to give them a way out, to pardon them from even trying something new. I had a bad relationship. I just got out of I was in an abusive relationship. I don't want to go meet anybody new. Why would I do that? That's an excuse. That's an excuse. Not everybody is going to be like that horrible person, especially if that experience was a couple of years ago. It's time to take a chance on yourself. It's time to move forward. Or, I didn't get my promotion. Why would I possibly put in for another one? Right? My boss hates me. I'm sure of it. Or, I want to start a new business, but I know absolutely nothing about getting started. Bull. Absolute bull. There are so many sources of information in this world, including yours truly. If you really wanted to start a business, You could reach out to any number of group experts in Digging from Darkness, Living in Light, or even myself, or a myriad of endless possibilities that could show you how to do it. Excuses. Waiting until the last minute is also preparation to fail. Yeah, I said it. I said it. What? When people wait until the last minute, it's usually so they can say when things didn't go right that they didn't have enough time. But who made that the circumstance that they didn't have enough time? They did. Right? Right. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Not saving junk money, saying I don't have enough money to do something, but you're spending bits and pieces of money throughout the week or month or whenever that you could have had enough money to do what you wanted to do. Say you want to take a trip and you make enough money to do it, but you're spending money on BS, on garbage, on junk, on things that you don't really need. You kind of want, but you don't really need. And then when it comes time to pay for your tickets, you're like, oh, I don't have enough money, but you could have, right? I don't want to hear it. If then statements. Instead of I can't or nah, why? What you're going to tell yourself is, if I do this, I will do this, right? If I learn what camera and what microphone and what software I need, I will be able to broadcast live. Not so hard. If I save my junk food money, I will be able to buy that new dress I like or get my nails done. If I leave the house an hour early, I will arrive at work 15 minutes before I'm supposed to. All right. Excellent example, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, we're moving along. Oh, did we skip? Oh, dude, I totally skipped one. That is super my bad. Okay, well, you're going to get two now. The way you talk to yourself matters. The way that you speak about things you need to do tells your brain whether or not you're actually going to do them and when you're going to feel like doing them. So you got to practice positive self-talk, and that includes positive talk about the things that need to be done. I'll tell you exactly what I mean. Are you one of my special I can't focus friends? Do you always find yourself really wanting to do something else and constantly doing something else? Well, here is a magic trick that is going to blow your world into the next echelon of getting things done. Let's have some fun with this. Sound got a little goofy. The sound got a little goofy. I don't know what. I think my signal is really bad here in this office today. The internet in Las Vegas has been in and out for the last couple of days just because that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Setting an alarm, if you procrastinate and being a procrastinator is getting in your way of actually moving forward with your plans, set an alarm. Get on your phone. Go to that little app that you have. It's called a clock, or some even describe it as an alarm. And set your alarm for 15 minutes, right? So what I tell all of my new practitioners of time management is to work 15 minutes, mandatory 5-minute break, mandatory. I don't care if you sit in your chair with your hands by your side, doing absolutely nothing. 15-minute, of work, 5-minute break. And then the next day, 20 minutes of work, 5 minutes break. And then, you rotate those times according to what your attention span is like that day. But setting an alarm it tells your brain what to do. It'll help you snap back into focus. Use your tools. Use your tools. And of course, I've been beating it to death into your brains about writing a list, right? Beating it to death. Oh my gosh, a lot going on in the world these days. A lot going on in the world. I want to. We are totally done the show. So I got a lot of time for you guys today. But before we begin, I want to say, if you enjoy our broadcast, if you enjoy our websites, if you enjoy our services, please go to AllJOYInspired.store and find yourself something fun or something funny to brighten up your day. All of your purchases go directly to helping me provide services for people who are experiencing hard times. So thank you for your purchase in advance. AllJOYInspired.store, we have a bunch of fun stuff for you to look at. Before we get to the question and answers, what I want to do is I want to send out my heartfelt love and prayers to a friend of ours. His name is Matt Couch. Matt has gone through some pretty life-threatening experiences in the last couple of days. Matt was in ICU with blood clots throughout his body, and he had to have his leg removed yesterday. They weren't able to save it, and he is in recovery today. So Matt, if you're listening, we love you. We are praying for you, and we hope that you're back on the mend very soon. Yes. Okay, now to the questions and answers. Where are we? Oh, honey, if you don't comment in English, I don't know what language that is. That doesn't, that's not like an alphabet. Oh, thanks, Jamal. Hi, Jamal. It's good to see you. Girl, right? Stevie Nicks. Oh, look. I said, if I'm going to go bald, I'm going to make it longer and it's just going to be badass. And I did. And I did this myself. I know how to do all this. It's fabulous. Okay, where are we at? Oh, hi, Sam. Sam, you're a new face for me. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Chris is here. Chris, did you get out of Facebook jail? So many of my friends are across so many different platforms because at one time or another, they're getting kicked off of them all. It's such a trip. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. I appreciate you guys. I do. I want to make a special note. Today's show was important to me. Today's show was important to me to talk to you about procrastination. And it was important to me to tell you because not going back to my doctor to get screened when I should have could have cost me my life. And I'm hoping that for those of you out there who are avoiding doing something, that maybe, after some fun music and some fun videos, maybe you will stop avoiding what it is that you need to do or something you want to do to achieve that happiness that you've been putting off. So today came from the heart because I wish I had gotten this message when I needed to have it to prevent me from going through 2 months of getting cut up and poked and prodded. And it was not awesome. I mean, I'm okay, but it was not awesome. And I hope to help at least one person avoid that experience. Yes, Chris, 50. Dude, how do you get suspended for 60 days? Like, what could you possibly say to get yourself banned for that long? Like, I don't, man, you're like a superhero. I don't know what's going on. You're so much fun. Oh my gosh. You got your 60-day bid. You're such a fun individual, Chris. I adore the crap out of you, man. Oh, speaking of which, thanks for reminding me, Chris and Jamal. I did, for those of you who observe similar beliefs as me, I did a podcast yesterday. It was almost 2 hours long, and it was one of these. So you're going to be able to see the podcast as well as listen to it on other platforms. Yeah, I know, right, Jamal? That's going to come out tomorrow. So pay attention to all of my social media platforms. I'm going to be posting the link to that interview. Magnificent interview. It's going to be like a real in your face to all of the emotionally unstable communications we have to navigate these days. And we all know what I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Is June 24th, 2023. My name is Elizabeth Spraggins. I am the founder of All Joy Inspired and the owner of Digging from Darkness, Living in Light. Please visit AllJOYInspired.store. I appreciate your patronage. Have an amazing day. Don't drink and drive.